Hello, hello. Today's video, I want to talk about the link between negative entities and narcissistic exes. I'm Natasha from Soul Mission. So I decided to shoot this video because I'm getting more and more people coming to me who are confused about the energies that are floating in there or moving through their bodies and are concerned about entity interference, and at the same time are concerned about exes, including narcissistic exes. So I wanted to break this down a little bit further. So a lot of people who are experiencing the usual symptoms of entity interference, a feeling of doom and gloom, a feeling of energies coming in and then out of your body. Some of you are hearing voices, negative voices, putting you down, being angry with you, really quite abusive words being used towards you. And you're feeling nauseous as well when this is happening. And yeah, for most of you, you do have an entity interference, but there's a lot more to this. And let me explain. So especially with severe entity interferences above the 15th dimension, in reverse, in the darkness, you have a lot of what we call demonic and satanic forces. These are groups of demons or groups of satanics who clump together to form a group consciousness level. And when things get to this kind of level, you start to feel changes in the physical body on the neurological level. First of all, you've got a lot of adrenaline pumping through your body, because on an energetic level, your body, your mind, and your spiritual being know that you're in a negative energy situation. So it's going to stress you out. You're going to feel anxious. You might find that you have looping mental thoughts. And the body will go into sympathetic nervous system mode. It will feel it is being attacked. Now, I'm not saying that this is your fault. What I am saying is, unfortunately, a lot of these scenarios are created because you have become an energetic match to those negative entities. What this means is, due to childhood trauma, you have a lot of unresolved wounds and traumas that you haven't yet worked through. And those very dense and negative energies are a match, an attraction match. So the law of attraction is working here. You are attracting the negative entities in proportion to the level of trauma that you may have had. It could have been physical, emotional, mental, sexual trauma. Now, especially people who've experienced sexual abuse, and especially if it's between the ages of 0 and 7, where you are really forming your self-identity, and also you're forming an understanding of your boundaries between people, energetic, mental, emotional, and physical boundaries. When you have been subjected to boundary violations such as sexual abuse, you may have gotten confused about what are the boundaries between me and other people. And here we have the empath's dilemma. So a lot of empaths believe that they are feeling other people's energies, and a lot of the time it might be somebody else's energy, it might be an entity's energy, or it could be your unresolved trauma that's bubbling up, ready to be released, transmuted, and transformed. So in these situations, super important that you do, vagus nerve reconditioning, somatic body processing work. So you begin to come back into your body and begin to feel safe in your body. And so that you can begin that process of creating self-identity within you. I'm me, and this is the other. This is the other. A lot of the time, we can have some negative connections with people, narcissistic exes. A lot of the time, the spiritual community are pinpointing these types of connections as being twin flame connections. Now, they may or may not be twin flame connections. But in the vast majority of cases that I've seen and I've experienced myself, is those narcissistic exes you are attracted to because they have reminded you or they are familiar to you based on your original childhood trauma, based on the parent or the caregiver who should have protected you, who should have loved you, who should have nourished you, but didn't. So what's happening is we're having a reactivation of those trauma bonds when we meet these people who are not emotionally available, who are maybe emotionally stunted, or are so broken and wounded themselves that they have become abusive. And to you. So let's get really, really clear, folks, that when we have these encounters with people, it's simply an opportunity to dive deeper into our healing journey. What else is remaining that we need to look at? Yeah. A lot of us are doing very surface level therapies, cognitive behavioral therapy, psychotherapy. And the names of them actually explain how, to a certain extent, superficial they are. Cognitive behavioral therapy. Yeah. Cognitive meaning working on the mental plane, behavioral working on behavior, your actions, right? But true dealing with trauma is at the subconscious level, not at the cognitive level, not at the behavioral level. But it's the subconscious beliefs, wounds, and trapped emotions together that are sparking your cognitive thoughts, that are sparking your behaviors. So things like CBT, although they can be useful for training the conscious mind, how to recognize unhealthy thought patterns and how to address them. But it doesn't deal with the subconscious wounding. So we need a multidimensional approach. We need to work on the unconscious mind through the body. We need to work on the conscious mind, mental body. And also we need to work on the spiritual body and release any attachments to narcissistic exes that remind you of, your father or your mother in some way. Now, I do want to make a very special mention to something specific that I've seen. Somebody approached me and believed that her twin flame was an entity inside her body. And this person is in a physical body. He is living. So I did a check. I usually do my checks and discovered that no, he's not an entity, of course, in your body, but some of his energies will have either projected into your energy field or simply you've inhaled, internalized a lot of his negative energies. And these do need to be released and separated out so you can clearly understand this is you and this is him. But what is interesting is a lot of these entities that are coming in, riding on your energy field, are masquerading as your narcissistic ex. Please, people, do not underestimate the ability of these entities to deceive you. They will take on any form, shape, or voice that they think is going to be useful for them to get into your auric field and try to mess with your mind, including pretending to be your narcissistic ex. And so then, of course, you could quite naturally come to the conclusion, oh, my narcissistic ex is inside me. No, even if a lot of his energy was in your energy field, you would still need to do the inner work of individuation, becoming your own person, understanding your energy and his energy. So I just wanted to warn you guys of that in case that is your experience. Do not confuse your narcissistic ex with a negative entity. Now, he or she might have negative entities of their own, but that doesn't mean that they are inside of you. Please understand that, okay? I hope you found this useful. I am going to love you and leave you now. And if you found this video helpful, please do like, share, subscribe, comment. I do always appreciate reading your comments. Okay, take care for now. Bye.